I'm Paige Hobart, and this is SEO in 2024.
Paige, what's your number one SEO tip for 2024?
For 2024, I want you to all get to know your thought leaders in your businesses. Go and get to know them, bake them cakes, build a friendship. They are gold dust.
But I thought that SEOs didn't have to talk to people.
Oh, I wish that was the case. I mean, that's still very true. There's a lot that can be done in isolation. But if you want to be proactive and unique and pushing that business to the depths that it can go to, your thought leaders are amazing resources. Whether that's your sales reps that are talking to prospects or customers day in, day out, they know your FAQs. They know what are the common themes that keep coming up. Right now, what is coming up, but also your product evangelist. I literally have someone in my company that is their job title, so I'm very lucky. But basically the people that work on your product and are always trying to improve it, they will also have loads of influences going on that they're building from. People in your company that are quite advocates on social media. Who are those people out on LinkedIn that are always being actually, no, my company's better than yours. Why? Why do they think that? And your CEO as well should be your number one advocate for your business. They should always be looking at the competition and what we should be doing next to stay ahead of that. All of this is such valuable resource for you as an SEO, just to be more proactive rather than reactive.
I think we need to clip that section of you saying, my company is better than yours, haha, and use that.
Yeah, go
somewhere
for
on
it.
social media. So you've got your different job titles there that you shared there that we can dive into in terms of specific examples of why you want to form a relationship with them and how you can hopefully leverage the content, I guess, that you're encouraging them to help you to produce. But just maybe a little bit more top level to begin with. Why are you looking to forge these relationships? And I guess it's because of content. So if so, where does this type of content fit into your overarching content marketing strategy?
That's a really good question. And it can fit in to lots of places. I know, Debbie, we've spoken about the pump and funnel marketing model quite a lot in our previous conversations. Anyone watching, if you haven't checked it out, go check it out.
Check out SEO in 2023.
And your LinkedIn Learning post, which is where I found it originally. But yeah, all of this content can fit into so many different places. And as people know from EAT and EEAT, you want to be genuinely helpful and produce content that is genuinely helpful throughout that model. So utilizing this can really help. We have a reliance in SEO to just go to search volume. Search volume is inherently reactive. It looks at the previous months of how many people have searched for that, but it isn't very good at looking forward, whereas your thought leaders are really just on the pulse. So working with them, for example, we've just launched AI intranet. Doesn't really have any search volume at all, but we're getting a lot of traffic because it is something people are looking for right now. It isn't something that's been picked up in terms of search volume yet, but there is a demand. And through utilizing my product team that are this is really hot right now, we got that page up. It is getting traffic. It is getting conversions, more importantly, but it isn't SEO led because from my perspective, it didn't look like it had any value. But I know that these people know that it does.
So targeting keywords with zero search volume is the way to go?
Maybe not for everything, but if you want to be looking for that next thing, if you've been, for me, in-house for a little while, you know what your core pages are, you know where the volume is. High search volume doesn't necessarily mean high intent, as you all know. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to convert, because it could be that people are just at the start of their journey if they're looking for those big, broad search volume terms. Doesn't mean you should be visible there, but there is a lot of value to be had for zero search volume terms. And sometimes search volume can be misleading. One of the things I used to say to my team is Google it. Don't just go after a keyword because it's got a number next to it. Actually search for it, because it's not always what you think it is. And sometimes what Google's actually serving isn't appropriate for you. And you're probably not going to rank there, even if you really, really, really try to, which is sad sometimes, but always be looking for those other opportunities.
So, yeah, and we'll dive into those job titles just in a second there, but I was just intrigued by what you were talking about there in terms of sometimes Google serves up something you're not necessarily expecting. Does that mean that you can potentially change the type of content that Google serves up for a particular keyword phrase? Or if Google is serving up maybe 5 to 10 pieces of content which is quite similar, then we should actually accept that that's what Google wants to serve up for that keyword phrase and not attempt to change its way of serving up content.
I think you should do both. I think if you believe that what you're putting out there is genuinely a really good result for that query, you've got to try. You've got to try, because those 5 other obstacles, if you produce something that's exactly the same, you still might not get in. So you might as well try and do your absolute best, even if it is slightly different. It might not work, but we're nothing if not a little bit experimental in SEO. We have to try. And if you think that it is going to be the best answer for that query, put it out there. If that format isn't working for you, take elements from what is doing well. Maybe it's a best kind of content that's coming out, like it's blog content, but you don't want to serve blog content. You want to serve a product page. Then maybe there's elements from those blogs that you can take and kind of like tweak it to almost be that, but not. And then eventually you might just give up and go, fine, I hear you. I'm just going to produce what you've ranked for everybody else. Fine. And then get on to page 1. But I think you should always be quite optimistic and try to produce something that is unique and better than everyone else, rather than just doing the same.
So sales reps, you touched on FAQs there. How do you reach out to sales reps? How do you pinpoint the ideal sales reps within your organizations to have conversations with? And how do you decide what solutions, what content they share with you to bin and what content to actually incorporate as part of your content marketing strategy?
Just very twofold there, I guess. First, identifying these people and getting them to want to speak to you is sometimes quite difficult. The best thing I found from going in-house, getting to talk to these people, was inviting them to almost critique what I'm doing, to give me their input. So I set up collaboration sessions on individual topics I was covering. So one thing might have been accessibility in the digital workplace. Having a digital workplace in any business is really empowering to people who can't do like office, like they need certain requirements to enable to do their job. So having a reliance on a digital workplace that works for everybody is very empowering. It's a good thing to have in a big business. And I was able to talk to sales teams who have clients and customers that need these requirements. I was able to speak to our own digital accessibility manager that we have employed within the company and get all of their points of view onto a page that I was creating. And it was really insightful. And I would run this for every single topic, and I would have different people show up for different things because people cared more about things than others, which is totally fine. But you're building out this kind of remit of people that know who you are, that know the kinds of things that you care about, and that you're interested in what they have to say. So I feel like when you invite people to help you, they're then more likely to come to you later if they have like something that's happening that they're seeing a lot. Maybe they're just getting asked the same questions all the time. I'm also lucky enough to have someone who purely focuses on our competition, just competition analysis. And she's like, right, okay, we're a Microsoft Gold partner. None of our competitors are saying this and we don't have that. I was like, cool, right. Give me 2 seconds. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, it's on the website. Ta-da! Now that USP that no one really knew about is on the website within seconds because you've built those relationships, and it's only going to help you having that. In terms of FAQs, yeah, the sales team that are constantly talking to customers, if they're getting the same questions all the time, help them out, put that on the website, put it somewhere where people can find that information quite easily. And then it saves them time in their pitch to make sure that they're not wasting time talking about stuff that can easily be answered.
And what type of content should you be producing as a result of conversations with product evangelists?
We're product evangelists. So the AI one was a product-led one. So that was really helpful. They were saying, look, our competition is talking about AI, but they're not really saying anything much about it. They're just saying we use it, which isn't really helpful. Like, okay, how? So then I work with them to pull out all the features. So we have AI that will help you write an article. We have AI that will translate the captions on a video into any language well, not any language, but most languages for you. There's so many features because it's a bit scary. AI is just this thing that affects all of us in all of our industries. But actually, how are we utilizing that is super helpful for our customers. They can come, they can read, oh, okay, those are all tangible things that I can see would benefit me as an internal comms manager or an intranet manager. Oh, these would all save me loads of time, and your software already does this. Fantastic. So using the product team, they have a roadmap of like so many things they want to do to improve this product. So they're already looking ahead. They're already being proactive. They're picking out what they're thinking and talking about and turning those into landing pages. A little bit of tweaking here and there, keeping an eye on what goes live, what kind of keywords that actually come in after you go live. Because obviously with its zero search volume, you can't be like, oh, this is the H1, this is the title tag. It's definitely this. Sometimes you have to put it live and just monitor and see which phrases are getting picked up more than others and kind of lean into that, which is, fine. It's learning.
And I love you being specific about the fact that you're using that content as part of landing pages. And does that mean that you would also maybe partner with paid search and test using driving paid traffic to those landing pages as well?
Absolutely. My paid search counterpart is incredibly helpful. We work together on quite a lot of things, simple things like adding award-winning or best or any of these kinds of little phrases that you can add into your title tag or meta description that are going to improve your click-through rate. Love working on that. Again, with the set of keywords, the other day I've got a page that's gone live. It's not quite ranking for what I thought it would rank. There's a selection of terms that all could be relevant. So I've said to lovely Hannah in BBC, could you please test these and tell me which ones work best? Because they all kind of could work. So then I can use that data to be like, right, okay, this was the topic. I think in this instance, it was collaboration software. But there's a load of different ways that you can describe that in this industry. Please, here's like 10, 20 keywords that are all kind of saying the same thing. Go and test those. Tell me which one I need to optimize for. And then sit back, drink a cup of tea, wait for the result.
And the other element that springs to mind is author schema. So trying to build a profile of the individuals that you're featuring on the pages that you're talking about there. Is that something that's part of what you do?
It's work in progress. I don't have it currently, but it is on the roadmap. And I'm like, so watch this space. If Udemy doesn't have it by 2024, I'll be crying in a corner somewhere. But it is something we're working on. We have identified our thought leaders who are being promoted on LinkedIn. They are doing webinars and they are speaking at conferences. Those are our people that we want to make sure from a Google perspective, they have author pages. They are at the bottom of these articles that we want to have a bit of clout behind. It can't just be published by Unily. No one cares. No one cares what a company has to say. People care what humans have to say. Like one of the things I was thinking about before this call was Dragon's Den. Why is that such an interesting TV show? Why is that even a TV show? It's because it's really interesting to watch people who are passionate about the topic and the business and the USPs and the market. It's what makes good television.
If an SEO is struggling for time, what should they stop doing right now so they can spend more time doing what you suggest in 2024?
I think I'm going to be lazy on this one and kind of reiterate what I said last year, because it kind of echoes what I'm talking about today, is stop creating content for content's sake. If you are a content writer and your KPI is do 4 articles a month or 2 articles a week or post this many things, if it is a number, it is a crap KPI. Use my language, but it is a crap KPI if it is an amount, because you should be thinking so much harder than just get it out the door. It needs to have, each piece of content needs to have a KPI, and you want to be achieving those, whether it's traffic or conversions or shares. Write for that, not just because I have to. So stop creating content for content's sake.
And are all metrics equally accepted by marketing directors nowadays, or do marketing directors prefer certain metrics still for SEO?
Good question. Oh, I was really hoping I wasn't going to have to say this today, but it depends. It depends on the boss. Like, ultimately, conversions are what count. But if you have a good strategy in place that is looking at things like shares and coverage, then absolutely that's important. If your strategy doesn't care about that, and it's more about traffic, get traffic, some of it will convert, then those are the KPIs that are important. It depends on the overall strategy of that business and the marketing strategy.
Paige Hobart is SEO manager at Unily, and you can find her over at unily.com. Paige, thanks so much for being part of SEO in 2024.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
I've been your host, David Bain. Get your copy of SEO in 2024, the book, over at SEOin2024.com.